Good evening. Welcome to the June 29th, 2026 West Clermont Regular Board Meeting. Mr. Romano, please take roll.
Mr. Patton?
Present.
Mr. Chumley?
Present.
Mr. Rudy?
Present.
Ms. Sanborn?
Present.
And Ms. Spencer let us know that she would be absent this evening.
Okay, thank you. Next up is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Looks like next up is the motion to adopt the agenda. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Rudy, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Chumley, thank you. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes.
Okay, next up is our recognition. Looks like we'll start with Ginny, yeah.
All right, good evening, President Patton, members of the board. Always exciting to recognize our honorees for the month. So first off, we have two groups tonight. First, we're going to do our two educators. So if Janet and Jasmine could come forward. And we'll start with our youngest learners first. So congratulations to Jasmine Copestick, who was the Early Childhood Educator of the Year for 2026, nominated or awarded by the Southwest Ohio Association for the Education of Young Children. And I would like to say that this recognition honors excellence and dedication in early childhood education and reflects the important work being done to support young learners. So congratulations, Jasmine, on this well-deserved achievement. And I just want to say, having worked in a preschool in the past, the opportunity for our children to attend preschool in the public schools and begin early intervention is so key. So you're certainly a foundation for their future. So congratulations again. You're welcome. And then our second here is Miss Janet Burris. And she is received the science teacher. She's a science teacher at West Clermont High School and was named the Outstanding High School Chemistry Teacher of the Year for 2026. This prestigious honor recognizes outstanding excellence in science education and reflects her dedication to inspiring students through engaging, high-quality science instruction. So on behalf of the Cincinnati section of the American Chemical Society, we would like to congratulate her and her commitment to West Clermont High School. And next up, we have a group of 4 who are a part of recognitions for the School Nutrition Association. So if Jessica Walker, our Director of Child Nutrition Services, could come up, and our very own Dr. Foltz. So I don't know if you'd like to join us or you're just going to sit there and take your award. All right. And Jessica here, also we have 2 people that were not able to be with us tonight, so Jessica can accept their awards on behalf of them. So first I'll start with Jessica. She was the Director of the Year of 2026. Congratulations to her being named this by the School Nutrition Association of Ohio. Jessica is recognized for her exceptional leadership, commitment to student success, and dedication to enhancing school nutrition programs. Her innovation, student-centered approach has positively impacted student staff in the entire West Clermont community. So thank you, Jessica. And I have had the privilege to work pretty closely with her this year, and I am amazed at what she is bringing to our students. So it is exciting. She has a true passion for that work. So along with her was Leah Lewis, and Leah was recognized as the cafeteria manager of the year, and she is at Willowville Elementary. And this honor recognizes school nutrition professionals who demonstrate dedication to serving students and a commitment to professional growth. We are proud of Leah and her accomplishment as well. So we will hand Leah to you as well, and Jessica. And then Kayla McDonald was the Sue Whitaker Scholarship Award winner by the School Nutrition Association of Ohio. And congratulations to Kayla, who's our field supervisor for West Clermont Child Nutrition, on receiving this award. This statewide honor recognizes school nutrition professionals who demonstrate dedication to serving students, and again, their commitment to growth and leadership. So congratulations to her as well. And then Dr. Foltz was
All right,
named.
hold on. I'm not gonna make her stand by herself.
Perfect.
We're a team.
Yes, you are. West Clermont was well represented. So congratulations to Dr. Foltz for being named the most valuable student superintendent by the School Nutrition Association of Ohio. The statewide honor recognizes superintendents who demonstrate exceptional support for school nutrition programs and a commitment to student wellness. Through his leadership, Dr. Foltz continues to elevate the work of West Clermont's child nutrition team. We congratulate him on this award and his leadership. So, thank you. And who is this?
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so it looks like we covered a couple in the consent agenda, so we'll jump right down to the Great Oaks Students' Voice and Update. Great Oaks Student Voice and end-of-year update. Yeah.
Good evening, board members. Thank you so much for welcoming me back. I'm May Hanna. I've met with you before, presented to you before. I'm the West Clermont Board designee. When Dr. Foltz and Angie sent me a note inviting me to come back for my, I guess it's biannual update on the Oaks, I said sure, but right after I got the invite and we were sort of working out the dates, I was at the Live Oaks graduation ceremony at NKU in May. And to my right is Kyler McFadden. He is one of our West Clermont student graduates from West Clermont High School and the Oaks. And he was the MC that evening. And I was so impressed by him that I said, I don't think that I should come and speak to you. I think that I should offer my time to a student that is a West Clermont student that goes to the Oaks. How better to know more about the Oaks than to hear it directly from a student. So with that, I just wanted to share that. Did you talk about your background at the Oaks? Okay, so just a little bit. We did have 1,471 seniors that walked across the stage to receive their career passports at the Oaks from the designated districts. So you all know that obviously we're one of the biggest feeder districts for the Oaks. And Kyler is, he went through the aviation exploration program, and he's here with his family. And when I asked Dr. Kraus about him, I said, tell me a little bit about Kyler and what makes him so special. And she said, he took advantage of all the opportunities for leadership and growth here. He also pushed us to look at things differently, to open some doors for more students moving forward. Kyler literally left Live Oaks better than he found it, leaving a positive, lasting impact on the school and students to come. Sure, he's a neat guy. Can't you hear Amy saying that? We have lots of great students here, but Kyler sees the bigger picture and was always part of making things better for everyone. And she ended it with, love that kid. So, Kyler McFadden.
Hello, as she said, I am Kyler McFadden. I want to start off by saying I am so grateful for the opportunity to share my story of West Clermont student attending Live Oaks. I've been to West Clermont schools my entire life, starting at Merwin Elementary, then West Clermont Middle School, and then high school. And I can say that I truly did enjoy my time there. I was involved in cross-country and track teams and enjoyed starting up the West Clermont Student News program. Since 8th grade, I knew I wanted to be a pilot. After growing up in a small Cessna, I absolutely fell in love with everything aviation. The new aviation program opened at Live Oaks, and I can honestly say I didn't want to go. I was very comfortable with my school and didn't feel like making the transition to a new one. But with push from my parents, I eventually came around, and I can say that I instantly fell in love with the Oaks. I immediately signed up for every opportunity I got, becoming a Live Oaks student influencer and ambassador, not only advocating for my Aviation Explorer program, but Live Oaks Career Campus as a whole. In that role, I had the opportunity to speak to several people, including going to different high schools and sharing my experiences, getting to meet with community members, politicians, and even some CEOs. This led to another opportunity. When a staff member approached me saying that she loved my high energy and asked me to become Great Oaks' first ever school mascot, Oakley the Squirrel. This led to even more opportunities, including working on yearbook, fundraising events, providing school tours, and becoming the class president and MC at Live Oaks graduation. I used the skills I learned at West Clermont Live Oaks and as an Eagle Scout to complete impromptu speech competitions with Skills USA. I competed on a local, regional, and state level. My senior year, I was one of the few students in the state of Ohio to be elected as a Skills USA Southwest Regional Officer. This was very exciting for Live Oaks as I was the first person to do so in over 20 years. I did all of this while maintaining 2 jobs, doing CCP classes, church and family involvement, and keeping with volunteering around the community. What I'm trying to say is through all of this, Live Oaks opened so many doors for me that I never thought would be open. In Dr. Krause's words, I was the mayor of Live Oaks. I was involved in everything. I got to be around people who had the same interest, work style, and goals as me, and I got to ignite passions I didn't even know existed. I was always able to be myself and have so much fun in doing rewarding and helpful things that I never thought I'd be able to do at my age. I was inducted into the National Technical Honor Society and recognized as Great Oaks' Aviation Exploration Student of the Year. I graduated high school with a 3.7 GPA, 3 college courses completed, my FAA commercial drone license, scissor and forklift certifications, and other general OSHA certifications. Without the steps from Live Oaks, I wouldn't be so knowledgeable at my field in such a young age. For my next steps, I will be attending the Aviation Technology program at the University of Cincinnati's Clermont campus. I'll be learning how to fly through Sporty's Aviation Academy, getting my private pilot's license, my instrument rating, and commercial pilot's license. I plan after college to finish the rest of my licenses, ratings, certifications, and hours so I could become a commercial airline pilot and travel the world. And I'm forever grateful for the opportunities that both West Clermont and Live Oaks Career Campus provided for me so I could become the best, most hardworking version of myself. Thank you, and I appreciate you taking time to hear my story.
Thank you. That was very impressive, yeah. Okay, next up is public speaking. Let me just read this for a formality piece of it. At each meeting, the board president will recognize visitors who wish to be heard. They are asked to fill out the card and give them to the president or the treasurer before the meeting. Visitors who wish to address the board are asked to state their name, address, and school or organization. Remarks must be addressed to the board and should be brief, 3 minutes and to the point. Speakers may offer things such as objective criticism or suggestions regarding school operations or programs. The board will not hear personal complaints of school personnel or against any persons connected with the school district unless those complaints have first been addressed through the individual departments or administrative involved. I do have one. Let me clarify. I got a clarifying question. So it looks like you both put your name on the one. Do you both want to speak? Yeah, we're just going to stand. Are you going to stand together? Because if you speak individually, you each get 3 minutes. So do you?
We don't need that much time.
Okay, I wanted to clarify that. So, yeah, if you two would like to come up, Edwin and Tara McFadden.
Hello, I'm Edwin McFadden. This is my wife Tara. We live at 1360 Post Creek Road in Batavia, Ohio. We have kids in Clough Pike Elementary, Middle School, and Kyler is our son who just graduated. The reason we kind of wanted to speak today, we were here to watch him speak about his experience with Live Oaks and, transferring from West Clermont to Live Oaks. We, as parents, kind of swayed him that way because some of the trade schools sometimes have, bad, people think that a lot of schools and things like that's where the losers go and things like that. And obviously it's not. We've heard what Kyler's done. Kyler's just one story out of many stories. But what our concern was, West Clermont's done a great job in some aspects, but I think we can do better as a community, such as highlighting some of these kids. Kyler's one story. You guys, I guess, get a board report every year about, or every so often about accomplishments, this and that. But that doesn't reflect to the students that are also going to West Clermont that might have a better opportunity in the future or know about the trade schools. One of the things was Kyler didn't receive some recognition during graduation that other students at West Clermont received, even though he had accomplished the same things. But because it wasn't at West Clermont, he kind of got, they kind of looked past it or missed it or that ball got dropped. And so I feel like, another thing is with the school as big as what we see at West Clermont, send a lot of students to these vocational schools. It brands because what associates you at these schools is, of course, your name, your trade, and your home school. And everything we went to, they recognize who you are, what program you're in, and what home school you're from. And West Clermont represents pretty well from everything at least we went to. It's impressive. However, his friends and other West Clermont students, they don't hear about these accomplishments. And I think that's just a tremendous missed opportunity that West Clermont might want to consider just kind of looking more into. Because, like I said, there's kids, and in the future, we're going to probably push our other kids to explore trade schools because there's good opportunities there. But those trade schools, those kids also represent our schools here on that foundation. And if they're not getting some of the, if they don't see some of these accomplishments like you guys do and we do as a parent, those get missed. So basically what we're here to ask is for the board to kind of help the high school, probably at a high school level or social media level, whatever, kind of help push some of this information out to some of these other kids. Because we've run into other kids that said if they would have had the opportunity or knew more about it other than just the tour and that information, they may have considered, would have considered that. And that's all around probably better off for some students, Not all students. I'm not saying all students need to do that, but there is a portion of students I feel that could benefit for something like that.
And the community as well.
And the community, right.
Okay,
So,
that was it.
perfect. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And thank you so much as well. Congratulations again. Okay, we will start the consent agenda. It looks like first up is Josh, the personnel agenda. Thanks, guys.
Good evening. In front of you is the personnel agenda for Monday, June 29th. Obviously, it's rather lengthy. We're in the middle of hiring season. With that said, though, we would like to recognize several of our retirees on the agenda tonight. I'd like to first recognize Joellen Dietrich, who's retiring after 30 years of dedicated service to West Clermont. Joellen most recently served as a cafeteria worker at West Clermont High School. I'd also like to congratulate Janice Newyear, who's retiring after 25 years of service to the district. Janice currently serves as a cafeteria worker at West Clermont High School. Finally, I'd like to recognize Caroline Link, who is retiring after 25 years of service as a cafeteria worker, most recently at West Clermont High School. On behalf of the board and the entire West Clermont community, thank you, Joanne, Janice, and Carolyn for their efforts and dedication, and we wish them all the best in retirement. Do you have any questions regarding the personnel agenda tonight? Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Next up is Ellie Preston.
Good evening. This evening is my annual request for you to approve our student fees for the 26-27 school year. You'll notice that the fees reflect no increase in fees for this year in comparison to what they were, or for next year in comparison to this year. There are a few adjustments where a course moved from a semester-long, or from a year-long course to a semester course, and the fee was reflected, so it was like a lower fee because of that. But nothing out of the ordinary and consistent with past practice. I'm not sure if you have any questions about that. Okay, great. And then I also have item 7.03, the resolution adopting a cybersecurity program in accordance with Ohio law. I will say that this is a formality, and if you have listened to Larry Parise, our Director of Technology, talk in ever, we are sort of leaders in the cybersecurity area within school districts within Southwest and really all of Ohio. And so this is really just formalizing what is required of Ohio law, that we, that we have an official cybersecurity program in place. Great, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Next up, Mr. Eric Dooley.
Good evening. Before you this evening is our annual consideration for our parent and student handbook. This is the handbook we provide to all students so that they understand the rules and regulations and procedures for the district. The handbook has been updated for all of our policies that have been updated over the last year, as well as any changes that we wanted to implement in terms of administrative guidelines. Not a whole lot of change other than the policy this year. There is some language that we've changed around how student absences are reported with our online option, since we're moving to Parent Square, our new communication platform. That's going to replace our online student absence form, but parents still also then have email and phone options to call those absences in. Other than that, most of the handbook remains the same, but do you have any questions for consideration this evening?
The question as far as where can the parents and the students find this handbook? I know,
Sure.
but
It's
clarify
posted
where that's
online in the hub, but I do know that the building principals also push it out at the beginning of the year in terms of back-to-school newsletters for families. In addition to throughout the year, they do occasionally have links to it within their newsletters that they share.
So if someone does not have access to a computer, can they receive a hard copy of the handbook?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The only downside to the hard copy is it won't have links to any live feeds that are within the document, but we do have ways to help families with that as well.
Okay, thank you.
So, and this is just more of a statement, but again, all of these handbooks, it looks like we're getting ready to approve a lot of handbooks, the board handbooks, the athletic handbooks. All of these handbooks are put on our website, on the hub. Everything can be accessed, so everybody
Yes.
can, on any of these handbooks. Okay.
Yes.
And actually, we have hard copy in the school office.
So if someone needs a hard copy, they could.
Yes.
Okay.
If they go to the school's office, they'll have a hard copy there.
Okay, thank you.
It's unfeasible just to print them. That the student parent handbook that I'm presenting is well over 100 pages, but we will produce them when.
Yeah,
when
no,
parents
no,
have
no,
them.
and I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure that people know where they can find that, where they can go in if they have questions and stuff. And again, it sounds like all of our handbooks
Yeah.
will be available on the website. Yep, that's all I need.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Any other questions?
thank you, Mr. Dool.
Thank you.
Next up is Mr. Gephardt.
Good evening. So we will start with our athletic handbooks. And I have Reed and James here tonight. We'll have them come they're here. How'd I miss James? I'm gonna have James talk. I'd like to have that 3 minutes put up there when James talks. But we have a restructure in the athletic department, and so I wanted James to come and talk a little bit about the restructure. You have the handbooks. We update these every year. There's a parent handbook, parent-student handbook, and then there's also a coach's handbook. And so one of the things that we do every season, that's in the fall, winter, and spring, our coaches go through a mandatory meeting with James that goes through this. That was for James. But one of the things that we do with our coaches, they do go through this, and one of the questions is, do all our coaches know about the handbook? Yes, they have to sign off on it, they have to go to the meeting, mandatory. If for some reason they have something, we videotape these, they come in. We've brought in legal as well when we have issues as far as changes that go along with the handbook, and we have legal presentations come in, and we've had that in the past. So James is going to talk a little bit about the new structure and some of the things that we've already done.
First off, thank you guys for having us. With our handbook, our parent hub is final forms. So in August, when you're put on a roster, the handbook is one of the compliance checks. So the parent and the kid will have to sign off with a green check saying that they read the handbook. At the coaches meeting, every coach has to sign off that they read the coach's handbook before they can coach. So we've been 100% compliant on that. The handbook, we've had very few changes. It is a 7 through 12 handbook. As far as the district restructuring of the athletic program, it's gone very well. It's been a busy summer. We've been with the Treasurer's Department in meetings with the asset, the inventory, from equipment to balls to uniforms. Director of Operations Chuck LaFata and his team has been very involved with us as far as getting the facilities ready. We've built storage shelves. Every uniform, every piece of cloth, every piece of athletic equipment is inventory. Reed has met with every coach. We have met with every junior high coach. We've started a policy where the high school coaches now, they're involved in the middle school hiring process. So it's a true 7 through 12. When we do our meet the teams next year, there'll be 7 through 12 at the high school. I met with Dingo Photography today. Our picture day is going to be 7 through 12 at the high school. Our goal is to get as many of these younger kids on the high school campus as possible, because that's the way we would like to try to keep them. Dingo was for it, so when we do meet the teams, if you've been to those, when we say girls basketball, we're starting with 7th grade, then 8th grade, then JV, then varsity. So it's one hub there that night. We're calling it merging the dens, 7 through 12. So Reed has really taken it upon himself, along with Mike Rickman and Chuck LaFata, to make this cohesive. From everything down to dumpster deliveries, to lining, cutting grass, everything. We also, I'm proud to announce, that we have every youth organization on our middle school campus next year. We've restructured the wrestling room. We've moved the wrestling room, so now it's going to be a youth wrestling room, middle school wrestling room. Since summer's been over, we converted that wrestling room into a weight room. So now the middle school has its own weight room. We had racks and storage that we went and got with my truck and trailer. We rebuilt those. So now the middle school has a fully functional, band-resistant core body movement training center that they've never had before. And that's mainly designed for 6th and 7th graders, and the PE department went crazy over the added facility. So now next year you'll have youth football on the campus, youth basketball. I met with them in February. They were prior just practicing in our elementary facilities. Now they will be playing their games at West Clermont Middle School in both gyms. So I know we have plans. We've talked about the bleachers. I have an option either way, repair, or I already have another option that I worked out with Lebanon High School. But we will have middle school games and community basketball games on that campus on Saturday and Sunday, K through 8. Wrestling has currently been at the high school. They've outgrown that room. We currently have 80 to 90 youth wrestlers. So we got them in that middle school cafeteria, because we converted the middle school wrestling room into a weight room. Now the parents wanted a place where they could come in and sit in the bleachers and watch their kids wrestling instead of sitting in the hallway or something to a closed facility. So I'm proud to say within the last year, every youth organization, football, basketball, wrestling, is now on our campus. We had our camps this week. The numbers were huge. Volleyball camp today was over 50. I've been here a long time. I've never seen a volleyball camp over 50. So it was so large they had to go to 2 sessions. But we meet once a week, 7 through 12, from maintenance to athletics to Chuck. So the same seeding program, the same fertilizing program, the same cutting schedule, everything is going to look the same.
So the restructure, because I know people ask questions, Reed is the assistant athletic director, but his duties have changed to be focused in on the middle school. He will be at the middle school, he has a physical space at the middle school, and he will be adding that to his job description, job function. So if you get a question, well, we don't have a middle school athletic director, that's not true. The assistant athletic director duties, and he's housed there at the middle school to oversee the middle school program.
He no longer has an office in the high school. His hub is the middle school. You guys have any questions?
So have you started giving out these handbooks already now?
So our handbooks, we just got the approval process for you to approve tonight. Once they're approved, we have our coaches meeting July 20th with the legal. So at that point in time, before the July 20th meeting, they'll all be published. We'll have hard copies there for the coaches to take and sign, but when the students log into their final forms, their physical, emergency, medical for, death acknowledgement, all those papers, the handbook will be digitally on their final forms account where they have to go in and check that they've read it and signed off on it, and it comes up green checks. So if every kid doesn't have 6 green checks, they're not eligible to practice. So before they attend practice at the official start date, August 1st, if that handbook icon is not checked green, that kid will not be permitted to practice, the same as he didn't have a physical. So unless everybody's green, which means go, you can't participate. The coaches meeting that night, we will record it. Anyone's there will sign off that we went through it. Anyone that's not there, before they can get with their kids, they have to get with Reed and watch the video. Then bring me the packet saying that they've acknowledged our handbook and district policies.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the handbook's very impressive. I did actually read it, 23 pages. The piece that highlighted, that stuck out to me too, and the most important piece in today's world is the communication piece. I know that you guys have an app that that the coaches are required to use, and it's important that they use it for our safety and their safety. So it's just.
We're very blessed that the district pays for that because they archive it. And when the coaches realize that we're going to be able to find what you said to Johnny's dad last August, I think it relieves them. No one likes change, but when we pay for archived data, it is truly a protection for both parties.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, a side note, I literally just told Dr. Foltz that I wanted you two to come in and speak about all this stuff. I did not know that you guys were coming in today, so.
It's good.
Yeah, that's what he said, yeah, you guys were thinking, so yeah, that's awesome, thanks, guys.
Are we good?
If I could have a moment.
Yeah.
I just want to say, when I brought this initially to them at the beginning of last year, I didn't get pushback, I got, let's do this, and they have far surpassed the level that I thought we could get to in 1 year. Like the list that James just went through, and the way that we're unifying everything was far more than I ever thought we could get to. So I'm very impressed with what you've been doing, proud of how hard these two worked. And, then went to James and said, hey, let's get all the youth on campus. And James was like, let's make it happen. Like, he understands my passion to have our kids, our West Clermont kids on our campuses doing great things, and so they stay with us. Once a wolf, always a wolf, right? And not once did they question, not once did they balk on it. Both of them were like, we got this, let us have it, and we'll keep you updated and in the loop. And they've fulfilled that that promise they made to me, and they have gone so far beyond where I thought we would get. So I appreciate you two standing in front of the board today and telling them what we've done, and I'm very impressed and proud of how hard you've worked to get us here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Reed had a really good point in closing. We didn't know anytime there's change, you don't ever know how people are gonna take it, right? When Reed met with every coach individually, he was so overwhelmed about how they wanted it. They wanted it to be one.
Change they want.
They wanted it, and they embraced it faster than we did initially because they wanted ownership in the big picture.
Yeah.
So it was a great idea because the people that it was affecting the most were the ones that embraced it the hardest. Is that accurate? So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Just need a few state champions next year, no pressure, so we'll be good there. Next bit of business is our board handbook. We've talked about the board handbook, gone over the board handbook, memorized the board handbook, I hope. Again, we're gonna get this published, will be on the web and board docs here after you guys approve this tonight. I think we have, gone over this. If you have anything that, any updates that you want me to put in there, please, in the next few weeks, send that to Angie, and Angie will take care of that for us. So that's the board handbook. Next, we have MOU with School Smiles. School Smiles is a group that we met with, Heidi and I met with, and this is going to be our on-site mobile unit that's going to come and help our students as far as dental. If you remember, we had a changeover with some of our things that we have done with medical and health source. This is going to replace this. Heidi had worked with them at Reading as well. They serve over about 8,000 students. Reading uses them, Georgetown uses them, some other schools use them as well. And these are the mobile units that are come on site. And so one of the things that Heidi and I have talked with was as we meet with them, not only with this, but also with Children's, who's going to be offering some services as well. And we would like to see these mobile units go to the different schools rather than one location, and we have to transport people there. So they're going to work on moving to different locations throughout the district. So this is for dental services for our students. And then Heidi will be coming with a presentation in the fall of all of our things that we offer our students and parents, and we'll give you a comprehensive school plan as far as healthcare goes for that. So you'll get to see that in the fall as we continually work with some other partners. Meal prices. Jessica's going to come up and talk a little bit about what the change, I know we always want to look at what the changes are as far as with the meal prices from this year to next year, because those are the questions that we do have. And so this is in front of you are the changes in meal price.
So we are looking at moving into next year when we had our bid with the companies, GFS. We are in a couple of bids. We're in the OAC bids, we're in EPC bids, we're in SWEPC bids, just to make sure that we're getting better pricing. But one of the big things that we were seeing across all bids is that we are in about an 18 to 33% increase coming into next school year. So that's a huge cost for us. That's food cost and supplies. That being said, though, I still would like to take advantage of trying to give free breakfast to all our students. I think this is something that we will increase lunch prices a little bit. That might offset the cost of giving all of our students free. But I think that our participation in breakfast is very small. We should be looking at, our free kids are not eating breakfast. And I think the reasoning is that they are over-identified. They know that if they're coming to breakfast, they're free kids or they're reduced kids, so they don't have to pay for breakfast. I think eliminating the stigma to breakfast and allowing more kids to eat, we will see an increase in participation, which will also show an increase in our, what we bring in to supply.
more kids that come in, the more that we will not make, but the more that we will then offset the cost. I think as the district, we're gonna see changes, obviously, if we go free breakfast, we're gonna see crunches at breakfast a little bit, especially at the beginning. But I think our students need to have a good meal before the school day. And I think them not getting this because they think that they're free or reduced is something that we need to just end. Again, I'm always one too, I'd love to give all kids free lunch too, and I'm gonna get there one day, but not today. We're gonna see how we can fight the 33% food cost increase for next year first. But, that is my recommendation for free breakfast for next school year. However, I am asking for a 25-cent increase in lunch pricing, for all elementary, middle school, and high school, just an even. And then our adult meal price, we do need to increase, but that is based on just the USDA's, you have to charge adult meals as much as a free reimbursement is, plus our commodity dollars, which comes to $5.20. So just to meet our compliance, we have to raise the adult meal price to that. So is there any questions on meal pricing or free breakfast?
I, for one, do not disagree with you. Our kids need to start the day off right, so, again, I see why you got the award. I commend you for that. Thank you.
And I'd like to see the free lunches also.
We'll
Yeah.
get there. It's gonna take time, but, our percentage of free and reduced doesn't qualify us for some of the other grants that are out there. But we're close, so, and within the next couple of years, we might be able to see that. But right now, we don't qualify for it, but we do qualify to do free breakfast if we can. So,
Yeah, I like it. Thank you.
thank you.
Before Jessica leaves, there's two things. One is, I'm coming from an elementary background, but I would say it affects all students, is if you're hungry, you don't learn. You're not learning if you're hungry.
Yep.
And so she is passionate about giving everyone food for their bellies first thing in the morning. And that I commend tremendously, and we're gonna do what we can do to make sure of that. This woman works so incredibly hard. People don't think about it. And it's like, oh yeah, lunch. There's always lunch at school. She works so hard to not only get the best bang for the pennies and the dimes, but putting together the right combination of food and what it takes to put all that together in terms of calories and all the other things that she has to do to provide a meal that kids want to eat. And she's phenomenal at that. I had the privilege of going up to Cleveland to the conference where she and the team received the award, and I was impressed about what they were learning there, and I was impressed about how the other people across the state were treating her and connecting with her. So I can't say enough about how much I appreciate you and the work that you and your team do, and they don't ask for anything. They just show up every day and make sure our kids are fed. They make sure that there's food on the table. They make sure that the kids are loved. One of the things that always impressed me, especially again at the elementary, is a child from 5 to 10 goes to an elementary building. They may have 6 teachers and see the principal occasionally if they're doing good or doing not so good, but every day they walk into her line 5 days a week and talk to the same people who love them. And their only expectation of that kid is, hey, are you hungry? Hey, let's feed you. Hey, it's pure love and pure joy. And I have seen over my years, her people take money out of their pocket to feed a kid. And that is crazy, but that shows the dedication of how much they care for these kids. And to see the kids light up when her and her team are there and feed them is something that I wish every parent could see and every person who believes in public education can see, because those kids bond with those lunch ladies. And it is amazing on how you have created and cultivated a team of passion, and a team of personality, a team of compassion, that it doesn't matter what building I go to. Your staff loves our students, and they love them no matter what, and our kids need that. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I have a great staff. I have a great team. I couldn't do any of this without them. My award should have their names on it too. I had a little thing that I was gonna say, but I didn't have to, thank goodness. But.
It takes a great leader to bring out the greatness in the team that you have, and you do that every day.
Thank you so much. And please come have lunch or breakfast with us, you guys on the board. See what they do every day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jessica will be back during superintendent's for a little presentation as well. You're up.
Okay. Next
7.10. Item 7.10 is request for the approval of the minutes for the meeting that was held on May 18th. That was a regular business meeting. Item 7.11 is request for the approval of the minutes of the meeting of June 13th, which was the Board of Education retreat on a Saturday morning. Item 7.12 is request for approval of donations as presented. The donors were Withamsville Church of Christ, Willowville PTO, Echelon Luxury Apartments, and Peer Recovery Community Center. Item 7.13 is the request to approve the authorization for the superintendent and treasurer to negotiate and execute contracts as presented. And you will note that there is a long list of contracts that is presented to you. Those are, and I commend the administrative staff, because typically a lot of these contracts are for the 26-27 fiscal year. And if you look historically in the past, you'll see that some of these really dribbled in July, August, and September. And the administrative team has done a yeoman's job of getting these ahead of the fiscal year before it starts, getting the contracts and agreements vetted out so that they could be presented to the board. One of those that I'll note in there is we have the property casualty and liability insurance that's in there. That coverage takes place July 1. That is a switch in coverage from our current carrier to EPC, which is a school consortium. So item 7.13 was the request for authorization for the superintendent and treasurer to negotiate and execute contracts as presented. Any questions on those contracts?
And those are all just for one school year, correct?
For this current school year, if there is an extension, we kind of line out automatic renewals. If there is a contract that is for more than 1 year, there is a funding out clause that goes with it, and/or there's and we ask that don't put forward a multi-year contract unless there's some specific reason, like a substantial discount in pricing, so we can attain that. But that's a good question. Yeah, we're focused down to 1 year unless they meet some other exceptions for that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Item 7.14 is resolution allowing employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty policy in lieu of bond for district treasurer and other bonded officers. So this resolution has been passed and has been adopted and passed previously, but because we're changing carriers, we're doing this again. So instead of the position bond, law was changed to allow us to add insurance coverage for that, which is a better route to go as advised by council to do that. Okay, so 714 is providing employee dishonesty and faithful, or allowing employee dishonesty, faithful performance of duty policy in lieu of bond for district treasurer and other bonded officers such as superintendent and the board members. Okay, that is consistent with what we've done in the past. Item 7. Any questions on that one? Okay. Item 7.15 is a request for approval of purpose and budget statement for the 26-27 school year. And as you can see, there's a long list of purpose and budget statements. Again, compliments to all those advisors, coaches, and people that work with the clubs and the different student activities, because typically you didn't see these until probably August or September, and the majority of these have been brought in before the fiscal year starts. One important note about the purpose and budget statement, so it not only provides a budget, but if you look into the form, it describes the purpose, which as the board adopts a purpose and budget statement, it is basically saying that that is an approved expense for those activities. So those are good. You'll also note that the workflow was created that I think when I first came here, there was a lot of handwritten purpose and budget statements forms, and those have been made into electronic forms, with some of that being pre-filled out for the advisors and sponsors. Item 7.16 is request for advances and transfers. So there are two different types of transactions. A transfer is where the general fund is providing funds to another fund because of a shortfall or deficit. They're actually in the list that is provided, a transfer from the general fund to the concert band at the high school, $753. There's a transfer to between the fee account at the high school to the graduation account. The fees are collected in the fee account, and those are collected for various things, and one of those is for graduation. And then there's a transfer from the general fund to the middle school athletic account and to the high school athletic account. That is for the coach's salary, because we charge those salaries to the athletic funds for those accounts. Advances are where there's a shortfall in primarily state and federal programs. It's kind of proud to say that this year it's only, it's a big amount, but it's only $182,000, where in prior years it was a greater amount. That comes from our budget office working with the curriculum office primarily to make sure that we get the cash requests in on a timely basis. And so most, if not, all the grants were covered right prior to the end of the year. This amount is primarily for the expenses that were drawn down in June, that you see there. Any questions on advances and transfers? Okay. Item 7.17 is the amending and supplementing the FY26 annual appropriations. Again, there's some minor amendments or supplements in that. None of that is within the general fund. The general fund did have enough appropriations to cover the expenses for 25-26. Most of those that are in this, most if not all of those, are just increases or changes because of funding requirements. Items 7.18 are the list of financial statements, bills paid, and investments for the month of May. And so the consent agenda is items 7.01 through 7.18. I think that's the largest consent agenda we had in a while.
Yes, there was a lot.
So put that forward as a request.
Thank you, Mr. Romano. You've heard the recommendation. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Rudy, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Sanborn, thank you. Is there any discussion? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rudy.
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn.
Yes.
Mr. Chumley.
Yes.
Mr. Patton.
Yes.
4 yes. Thank you.
Next up is Jessica Walker. Yeah.
Child nutrition.
Yeah. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me again up here tonight. I do have a little slideshow that you guys can also have access to, but part of our USDA regulation is that we give you a year-end review, and one of those things is to show you that we're meeting compliance with SB 210, which is a Smart Snacks in Schools regulation. But before we get to that, that will be at the end. This is just to showcase what my staff has been doing this school year. We served 603,266 lunches and 200,584 breakfasts, which is an increase of 30,000 meals this school year. So just in my 2 years, we've increased 60,000 meals served that we weren't serving before. These are some of the fun things that we do: National School Breakfast Week, Apple Crunch Day, Incredible Kids Day. We had Munch the Fox, who is the state of Ohio's mascot for school nutrition, came out to Merwin Elementary when all the mascots from the Cincinnati area were at other schools. Merwin got Munch the Fox. So that was one of our big fun activities that we did. We do talk about negative balance on lunch accounts for the last semester. We were at 66,000 negative that we finished off the year with. And those are still being emailed to recoup what we can. But again, back to our free breakfast, some of that money that is in there would be breakfast money. So we're hoping that eliminating the breakfast cost will help with some of that debt. Again, this is talking about meal prices, which we already discussed earlier. But this was my recommendation for you guys for next school year. So that's what that one is. Our nutrition review and procurement review will not take place again until 2029. We had that last school year and we had no compliance issues. Our wellness initiatives, it is a USDA that compliance is that we have a wellness policy, and in our wellness policy, there is nutrition in our wellness policy that has a goal. So the goal that we had brought was more farm to school initiatives. Try it, taste, test. You can see from the pictures, we've been using a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables that students may not have ever seen before. We are in talks for next school year, adding more farm to school items. There's a lettuce farmer in Batavia that we're looking at partnering with to bring that lettuce to the kitchen. There's other, we have lots of things out there that were in the plans to farm to school, but we do a farm to school there's an ingredient every month that we use in our menus or on our salad bars that is local for Ohio for each month. So, again, those are in there. And then this is some try it days, again, student focused, student centered. We bring at least 2 samplings to each school every year. We did a ramen bar at the high school. We did breakfast pizza. We've tried a carrot waffle that's coming in for next school year that the kids absolutely loved. Dill Bites, burgers. We had Tyson come in and bring their burgers, and we had a bunch of high school kids get to eat cheeseburgers, and they thought it was the coolest thing ever to come back to the kitchen and try burgers. We also take a test at the beginning of the year. Each kitchen that's smarter lunchroom card. We definitely want to increase our scores every year, and this is one of the things that shows our managers what we are looking for when we go into kitchens and what would help students choose healthier options. And then just some more farm to school ingredients that we've used. We had candy cane radishes for our salad bar, and they looked like little candy canes, and the students absolutely just went nuts over those. We use fresh apples from local orchards on our menus, and just the colorful. Every school has a salad bar, and it's pretty much unlimited. If they can fit it on their plate, they get it. So those are one of the cool things that the students are really enjoying, that they thought they would never like, and they do. So, which is why we have the Try It Days. Again, professional development. We have so many hours of professional development that we have to have every year, which is the USDA compliance. And those are the hours that each job description has to have. And then just showcasing our grants and scholarship awards, all the faces that didn't get to come today, Leah and Kayla. And Leah, just to add, I wanted to add to them, Leah is a first-year manager. She actually didn't go into Willowville until October. And then Kayla is my new nutrition field supervisor. She just finished her first year. So I'm very, very proud of both of them for taking the initiative and to try new things, even though being new, they rocked it. So I'm so proud of them. And then Dr. Fultz, who was also in his first year, who also got to get up there and get his award too, and we're very thankful for him for how much he supports us. So this is the compliance report that shows that we are following the Smart Snacks in School, and this is pretty much the one that's checking the box today. But this is one of my jobs, is to make sure that nobody's selling things to our kids that's not nutritional value. So I get to go around and see who's selling something that they're not supposed to be, because they're not allowed to sell candy, or anything that has no nutritional value. So I haven't found anything, so we're good, we're covered. And this is all the, the codes and stuff that we're following, so. If you have any questions about, SB 210 and why we don't let kids buy candy, please let me know. But that is the end of my report. Thank you for being a school lunch supporter. Do you have any questions?
So are you trying to recoup some of the losses that you've gotten over the year or years?
So yes, we send out emails every week for the negative debt that's still there. But once it is, we are transferring that debt now to student fees. So that now has then been put into the student fee folder. So once it comes out of child nutrition, it is not being followed by child nutrition anymore. It's been followed by the student fee. So when they send the bill for student fees, then it's in there as well. So then it is still getting notification.
So the school will help with that. It's leaving just one department in the whole school now. The student has to come in and pay fees. It's in that as well.
So it's like paying your bill all in one bill then? Student fee and lunch fees?
So we're continuing to try to recoup it, but it falls within the other fees that they have each the beginning of each year.
And that's eliminating, I mean, we were mailing letters and paying for postage, and then they're mailing letters for student fees too. At this point now, we've just kind of combined it too.
Streamlined it.
So that helps cut costs.
So it saves cost on postage?
Yes. Any other questions?
Again, thank you for what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, yeah.
Okay. Like I said earlier, please come out and have lunch or breakfast with us. My staff would love to see you guys and say hi. Like Dr. Fultz said, they're very smiley, they're very energetic, they love the kids, they'd love to see you too, so come see us.
I think, Dr. Fultz, that's a road trip now.
That's what, I've had the food, it's good.
If I didn't work day shift in my own building with my own kitchen ladies that take care of me, I would definitely take you up on the offer, but I'm day shift.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, yeah. Yeah, you too. Let's see.
Next is Eric's coming up to talk about student wellness.
Good evening again. For your information this evening, as a school district, we're required every year now to post online a report of how we've utilized our student wellness and success funds and our disadvantaged pupil impact aid funds that we receive through the Department of Education. Both of these funding streams are in support of student behavioral and mental health needs. And so in West Clermont, we receive roughly about $650,000 from each of those funds. And we use that to support our school counselors and the work that our school counselors are engaged in around supporting student behavioral mental health development and needs. What that looks like, our school counselors do things that support all students in developing those skills, those mindsets, things such as positive behavior interventions and supports. Leader in Me has components that are involved with that, in addition to some other things that we do to support all students. What does that mean for students that have a little bit more need? Our school counselors are involved in providing skills groups for students that have some specific behavioral mental health needs, in addition to other types of needs that might come about based on life circumstances. For example, we run some groups at the middle school for students who are experiencing homelessness, and what are some of the needs that those students experience that have its etiology in what they're experiencing in their personal lives. And then beyond that, our school counselors are really involved with connecting students to those tier 3 supports for the most intensive levels of needs that students are exhibiting. And that would include mostly referring students to our school-based or community-based partners for services. So referrals to NECO, referrals to Best Point for school-based mental health services, referrals to Child Focus, potentially for community-based services, collaboration with Presley Ridge and the Mental Health and Recovery Board. So there's lots of partnerships that are involved, and our school counselors are at the center of a lot of that work, supported by these two funding streams. So this is really just informational for you. It's something that we'll post to our website. I believe it's already posted there. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay, I think we're good. Thank you, Eric.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
Yes, no, that doesn't.
Yeah, no, that doesn't, yeah. This one does.
This is an action item, that, next one that we're gonna come up with, and what I'm recommending to the board to approve tonight is the resolution declaring transportation, to be impractical. And as we've talked about transportation before, the impractical, designation or, that we've put onto this are those students that live within 30 minutes, that we are designated as impractical because they meet the 6 factors that will be part of this resolution. So let me just go through real quick. So each of these students, and in your board agenda, you have the resolution. In the executive content, you have a list of those students that will receive a letter identifying the 6 factors for each student of why they were deemed as impractical. And the 6 different things that they looked at are time and distance required to provide transportation, the number, the cost, whether there's similar equivalent services provided pupils eligible for transportation, whether the extent of the additional service is unavoidable and disrupts the current schedule of our routing system and transportation schedules, and whether other reimbursable types of transportation are available. One of those things as far as that goes is one of the steps that we went through was Dr. Foltz reached out to all neighboring districts to see if they would transport before we deemed them impractical. We didn't get any takers on that, obviously, at their cost. So that is part of it as well. And so what I'm asking the board to approve tonight is the resolution declaring transportation to be impractical. And then also you have a list that can be added in the future at future board meetings as other people request transportation. Again, those students will receive a letter from Dr. Foltz that will go out tomorrow. And there is an appeal process that's built into it as well. It is stated in the letter that the students will receive on if you don't agree with this, there are measures that they can take to appeal this decision to ODU. And that we will then also let them know if they do file an appeal. We will also let them know as well, and then the state gets involved. So what I'm asking the board to do tonight is to approve the resolution declaring transportation to be impractical.
And Randy, this is one piece of the bigger picture that we're looking at our transportation. We're looking at costs. We're trying to be mindful of taxpayers and the community's money. And so this is just yet another piece that helps that us to achieve that goal.
Correct. So when we looked at the entire picture, we had about 76 bus routes that we had in 25-26. And if you remember, we went door to door. We went down 122 cul-de-sacs. We made a move to neighborhood cluster, neighborhood group stops, which then brought those numbers down. The next step is then look at the impractical and ineligible students to get the number down to the 58, 59 routes, which then gave us that 1.5 million in savings. And so it is a bigger picture. It is encompassing of neighborhood group stops brought routes down. Remember, each route is over $90,000. And so each route that we could eliminate obviously brings money back into the district and doesn't affect what we're doing in the classroom. So those are the things that we've looked at with the neighborhood group stops. The next step then was to look at ineligible, which I'll talk about in the update of transportation, and then obviously this piece of it is impractical. So there are about 79, 80 letters that will go out. Of those, about 90 of them received transportation this last year. So this is the big bulk of if you do get questions about this. And I'm also giving you an update on what do parents do if they come to you and say, hey, I disagree with this. we put on the webpage, on the transportation webpage, a complete guide, basically, on if you disagree, how do you go through the appeal process. But the resolution is passed first. You have the names that obviously aren't public, but they are in your executive content, and I would ask the board to approve this resolution tonight.
Okay.
Before we make a motion, can I add that I just want to remind everyone, the board and the community, that the decisions made by the General Assembly last November has put us in a financial crisis. And so we have to make these decisions. We have to make decisions to reduce our budget in order to maintain a quality educational program. And the transportation piece is, we're trying to make decisions furthest away from the classroom as we can. Because once we get to decisions about the classroom, it will affect students' academic learning and success. And this is one of those big teams.
And again, one of the things that I've said from day one that I've been on this board, this is not a punitive piece. We're not trying to tell people this is just reality because of what was done at a higher level.
And one more thing I'll add, when you are deemed impractical, parents do have the option. First, they have to request transportation. Then there is an in lieu of payment for impractical that we would then pay them. And the dollar amount's $650 for next year. So they would get a payment of $650 for in lieu of. Because they live within the 30 minutes and we're not giving them transportation, they can first request transportation and then they can go and I'll come forward with you as we move forward in September and beyond. Those in lieu, you've done that in the past, and those will be those students as well. And so parents have the option to sign the waiver and go through that. And again, there's a step-by-step on how to do that on the webpage.
There's only a window of time that they can do that, right?
There is, we're asking them to get it done in July, but those can be ongoing because they could request at a later date.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. You've heard the recommendation. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Rudy, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Chumley, thank you. Is there any discussion? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rudy.
Yes.
Mr. Chumley.
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn.
Yes.
Mr. Patton.
Yes.
4 yes.
The next bit's a transportation update is next, and so just giving you an update again as well, referring back to the webpage, it is a one-stop shop for our parents to go to. And again, the impractical numbers are 79 to 80 students, okay, of the 96 we transported last year. When you look at the ones that we deemed ineligible are outside 30 minutes. We got about 101 that fall under ineligible. Of the 101, we only transported 16. Okay, so if you say, well, we're not doing it, that's not a big number, but the ineligible one designation, there is no in lieu of transportation because they're outside the 30 minutes. So the question is, if you get somebody that comes to you and say, well, I don't agree with the timing's done by Peterman. If they disagree with the timing, there is an appeal process as well with the timing. And what they'll do is they will notify us that we disagree. I just got off the phone tonight with a gentleman tonight, very nice man, and I gave him the step-by-step on what he had to do, which is also on the webpage as well. So if they disagree with it and say, well, I can get there under 30 minutes, well, sometimes driving a car and driving a bus is a little bit different. And then you got to look at where you're picking them up and where you're dropping them off. And so Peterman did those timings, and we did have students or routes that were well over 30 minutes that we had to eliminate. But those are the ones that will come. They do have an appeal process that they can do. They do not get paid when you're ineligible. But if they do the appeal and the state comes back and says, yes, it's under 30 minutes, then they could go to impractical and they could get in lieu of that way. So that's just an update as well. The other thing on the webpage that we'll see, and I'm starting to get phone calls, and Chuck will take care of this for me when in my absence, and also work through Angie. But what will happen is we'll get some concerns about bus stop locations. And so Those would be the next thing, because when we went to the cluster stops, and neighborhood group stops, we're gonna get questions about that. You're gonna get feedback from parents that their child's not gonna walk down the street because there's no sidewalks. Obviously, we look at safety. Sidewalks is not required by ORC. That is not something that has to be required to have a bus stop on a street that doesn't have sidewalks. Obviously, safety is number one, and we're gonna look at that. But, just like in the other one, there is an appeal process as well. So, on the webpage, the first thing on the facts and questions about transportation is, what if I'm concerned about my bus stop location? There is a form that the parent can fill out, specifically what their concern is. That will come in. Remember, we hired Doug Palmer. Doug Palmer's gonna lead a safety committee, which will be somebody from the state, which will be some administrators, and will be some other people that'll be a part of a safety committee, and they will reevaluate the bus stop locations that we have identified through this process in the spring. If they deem that it is unsafe, then they will change the bus stop. However, it gives an appeal process for parents to say, hey, I don't agree with you, I want you to look at it again. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why we put the safety committee together. We have experts. Doug Palmer, as you know, is an expert as well. And we'll have representatives that can look at that as well. And so there's a whole facts and questions about what if I'm concerned, what if I can't see, all the different things that are on the webpage now that parents can go to. So if you get questions from parents about the bus stop location, there is a process in which they can have that reevaluated, which I think is good. And it's good that they brought that to us so that we could do that. So that is not a voted, we won't have to vote on that. This is update. I know we've brought a lot about transportation. Once we get through this the first year and we learn this process, it will be something that will be a lot smoother, because we are learning it as we go as well. And I believe that as long as we're flexible, or we look at it and we put safety as number one, we'll be fine. So that's that. Next.
8.05.
It's got a lot. I mean, my back is sore, but we're getting through it all. So, if you remember at the board retreat, this is an action, this one will be an action item. We are gonna waive the first reading. This is mostly the language that goes along with the public participation. The main one is that we've included stakeholders, okay, so that could be anybody, as we discussed that during the retreat. As you'll see, the language has changed, and that has been updated. This is a second reading, which means this is an action item. I'll ask you to vote on this, and I'll make this recommendation to change 0169.1 public participation at board meetings. I would ask the board to please approve the changes to this policy.
I would like to say before any motion occurs, it's changing, like you said, the stakeholders, and we're looking at the restructuring when the public can speak. We will still have one at the beginning for public comment, but that will be on agenda items that will be on that board meeting. And then we'll have a second one at the end of the meeting for other items.
And I did run this through legal and say, do we need that part of this public participation as far as the policy goes? He said, no, that we do not need to have it as part of the policy, but we can adjust our agenda how we see fit.
So one of the things I want to highlight is that we, in my opinion, are giving the community an opportunity to speak. We're not reducing any time, we're actually adding time, we're adding an option for them to speak. So the beginning part of it would be if there's any action item on the consent agenda that someone has something specifically they want to talk about. Then again, we're going to open it up at the end for anything anybody would like to communicate, staying within the realms here as far as the walls. But I think this is important that we are not limiting any of the community from speaking. We're actually clarifying it and adding a part. So I like that.
The first part is agenda items, the second part is non-agenda items, if you look at it that way. So that's a simple way to put it.
And you could speak at both, correct?
If it's different,
Yeah.
different, you can't, yeah.
Can't double your time, but it could be different topics.
That's a good question, yeah. Okay. Does anybody else have any, well, I guess that's an action item, so, okay. You've heard the recommendation. I'll actually put that in the form of a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Rudy. Is there any discussion, any other further comments on that? Yeah, roll call, please.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes.
Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
4 yes.
The next item is MOU with our SROs, and we have two different partners that we go through, so we'll go through each one of these will be an action item as well. This is a yearly thing that we do. One of the things that we looked at when we started to review some of the MOUs, we did find out that we needed to add some things, so we brought legal in, and we've been going back and forth between the partnerships between both Union Township as well as Clermont County. So the first one is the MOU, which then specifies our partnership with the Union Township Police Department, in which we have the SROs in the buildings. As you remember, we have 3 SROs from Union Township. We have 2 at the high school, and then we have 1 at the elementary schools. So I would ask the board to please approve the recommendation for the SRO with Union Township Police Department.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Rudy, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Sanborn, thank you. Is there any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes.
Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
4 yes.
The next action item is a MOU between West Clermont Local Schools and the Clermont County Sheriff's Office. This, again, was worked with back and forth between Clermont County and with our legal team as well, and we came up with this MOU, very comprehensive MOU as well. And I would ask the board to approve this. I would also like to give the board an update that we do have a new SRO at the middle school. Mitchell Boggs is his name. I sat in on interviews last week with the Sheriff's Department, and we interviewed candidates last week, and they have appointed Deputy Boggs to start with us on August 3rd, and he will begin duties at the middle school for next year. So we do have that. I wanted to get that in place before I left, and that has been done. I want to thank the Sheriff's Department for helping us get through that and to streamline that through. So I'm asking the board tonight to approve the MOU between West Clermont School and Clermont County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Rudy, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Chumley, thank you. Mr. Romano, roll call, please.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes.
Mr. Patton?
I will abstain from this vote. For those that do not know, I do work for the Sheriff's Office, and so for the conflict, I will abstain from voting.
Okay, 3 yes, 1 abstention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pittman. Next up is Superintendent's business.
Thank you. I would first like to start where Randy ended. We value the partnerships that we have with our local law enforcement. It's important that we continue to have those partnerships and they stay healthy and strong, and we will continue to work with both departments and I believe possibly even peers in the near future to help make sure that we are providing a safe environment for our kids, and that partnership is seamless. So again, I appreciate the hard work that they put into it and partnering with us to make sure that we have the most current agreement out there. So we're excited about that. I also wanted to add, just the end of the year wrap up, we had a great graduation, which really went really well. Kristen Kaufman in her first graduation, I think, beat Randy's record a couple times. So I'm very proud of how well she did there. Despite the rain outside, again, Centos did put a wonderful program together, and I felt like our kids did a great job. It was the first time I've shaken 576 kids' hands, but watching some of the seniors walk across the stage that were my Brantner kindergartners just made me feel like a proud papa. So the year wrapped up well. We're very excited about that. Ellie and her team put a great district leadership team retreat on the week of June 8th. So we brought all of our leaders in the districts together to review the year, to work through what we want to work on for next year. The professional development allows us to refocus on what matters and where we're going. And again, I just want to thank Ellie and her team for putting on such a great program. And I would say, and Ellie can correct me and open board it, if I say it wrong, but this is one of the best retreats that we've had. Watching them walk away excited about going into next year and not tired really made me feel so good about where we're at as a district. So I appreciate that and all the work our team did. And then finally, it's this time of year getting ready to send out our spring newsletter. So that's going to be out in the next couple of weeks, and that'll go to all of our community members. And so we're excited about that. It gives a summary of the wrap up of the school year for West Clermont. So be looking for that spring newsletter coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Foltz. Next up is Treasurer's Business. Mr.
Okay.
Romano?
Item 9.01 is the motion to approve the authorization for the treasurer to apply for and request advances on the tax settlements from the county auditor as funds become available for the second half collections of 2026. We do this request twice a year, once at the organizational meeting and once either in June or July. Unfortunately, as we do this request, we know that the advances and the settlement in this second half of the calendar year, or the tax collection year, is going to be less than it has been in the past. That was made so by a series of legislative actions in 2025 towards the end of the year that is reducing taxes for a lot of school districts in the state. I believe we were the second hardest hit within the state of Ohio. So although this request is authorizing treasurer to make that request for taxes as the treasurer certifies them, we will do that so. I think the other thing that is important to note that the bills, because of that legislative action, those second half tax bills have been delayed. I'll make the comment now, but we met as a group of school district treasurers, met with the county auditor's office, their staff, last week or the week before last, to do that. And we certainly appreciate the trials and tribulations they've been going through to update their software, to get the numbers, the calculations from the Department of Taxation so that they could get those tax bills out. But 9.01, again, is requesting that authorization for the request of taxes.
Thank you, Mr. Romano. You've heard the recommendation. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Rudy, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Sanborn, thank you. Is there any discussion? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes.
Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
4 yes. Thank you. Item 9.02 is the annual appropriation measure. We are requesting a full appropriation measure. There is an option of just doing a temporary and then approving the full by the end of September. Again, kudos to the administrative staff and the departments for getting their budgets submitted. This appropriation measure specifically in the general fund, as you heard Mr. Gephardt talk about the reductions in transportation, and you've been kind of hearing of the reduction of staffing, which a lot of it is born from the teaching and learning department, as well as the district office and other offices throughout the district. We've reduced our budget by at least $3.5 million. As I do the calculation, it probably is upwards towards $4 million with it, primarily in the general fund as we go forward with that. The appropriation measure total is $156,490,561 for the FY '27 year. There is carryover that comes from this current fiscal year. Of that 156 million, the general fund is $109,462,303. As we go forward, and see things, one of the things that I will assure you that has been done this year and in the past is that even though it's budgeted, we only spend the money that's necessary to spend as we go forward with it. So the administrators and the staff request a budget, that doesn't mean that they spend it all. Some of the things that we have to be conscious of, not just in transportation, but if you look at this past winter, it started early and finished late. So our utility costs were extremely higher this year. There's some anticipation that rolling into next year. It's obvious the inflation has hit every aspect of school district purchases. That does continue, where the average inflation was about 3% over time. The past 2 years have been higher than that and have not seemed to be letting down. So as we pare down our budget and cut some things out, still know that the budget does increase because of all those other factors as we go forward. So I want to also say what's important is as the staff put together this budget for the 26-27 year, we closed this year's books pretty timely, that they actually are closed as of today. We are able to open the New Year books July 1, so most of the staff, the department already did their requisitions for the 27 year so that we can get things purchased in time for when school starts. The big note you saw was with the contracts, all those came in. A lot of those already came in before the start of the year, which is really important that we do that. So this is just another step in providing the authority for the superintendent, the administrative team, to do purchases and move into the 26-27 school year. So the resolution is to request the annual appropriations for FY27.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation. Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Rudy. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Chumley, thank you. Is there any discussion? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
4 yes. Thank you. And the last item is the comments. So first of all, if I added up the numbers right, it was really nice to hear the student voice right at the beginning of the meeting, and I think that individual was the class of 2044,
The baby.
the baby. And so hopefully all of us are still here to see that baby graduate. Crossing my fingers, not necessarily in this position, but
It
just
took me a minute to.
on the ground.
We'll see about
To do that. Also want to note that, with the food service, this food service program, as Jessa walked into it, and I don't want to say because of the pandemic or so, the fund balance has been pretty healthy. But it's only healthy because they only spend what they bring in, even though it's not an easy task to do that because you're following a lot of federal guidelines to do that. So as they move to the breakfast program, a lot of that is made possible because of the past ability in the financials of the food service program. So congratulations on that. The second thing is, you heard about how the delinquent fees, the food service fees were kind of rolled over to the system. Although that sounds pretty easy as to getting everything on one bill, it involves the power school in the system there. It involves a collection that food service uses. It involves a system that the schools use, the pay school system. So all those things have to come together and do it. And there was a lot of people working in the spring to make sure that everything was balancing out. So it's nice to see that, but understand there was a lot of work to getting there to do that. Superintendent and myself, and we did note this in the update, did meet with Representative Byrd. We do appreciate that he, carved out some time for both of us to talk with him. One of the nice things that I know he is pushing to the speaker and to others that let's slow down or let's settle down on any further property tax changes. These are my words, not his, until the dust settles, until we really find out what the impact of that was for all school districts in the state. I think there were some unintended consequences this school district being one of them, where the reduction to our budget was greater than anticipated with that. Do appreciate the fact that he was listening to both the superintendent and myself on maybe some proposed changes on how the community or how school district taxpayers can pay those taxes to the district. So I appreciate him listening to us on that, and that dialogue will continue, I think, as we go into it. I did already mention that we met with the county auditor's office, again, that there were some challenges on their part that was brought about by those legislative changes, but they are seeing through that and happy to do that. Not to always end things on a downer note, but the clawback credit that where this school district, because we were at the 20 mil floor, there was the look back that said, hey, go back to the 23 reappraisal. If it was greater than an average inflationary rate, that differential is credited back to taxpayers. There were estimates done at the time the legislation was being proposed. There are estimates that were done in February, and they're somewhat of the reality of what it is today. I don't have the final numbers from the county auditor's office, but as we took and we looked at the numbers with our financial consultant from the State Department of Taxation, it does look like that more is being clawed back than expected. And so roughly, as of a letter that I received Friday, that calculation is about $800,000 plus more being taken back than anticipated. That will be done, that additional amount will be done in the 26-27 year, and again on the credit in the 27-28 school year. So as we move forward to updating the financial forecast that we will have in August, we have to take that reality into respect. Hopefully, we can get the information from the actual tax bills before that time period, so we could build that into the forecast as well. But again, as I think I said back in February and March, every time we look at updating and we redo the calculations, we're hoping that it's getting better, but it is not. Okay, so just want to make that known up front as we go forward. So the good thing is we are taking prudent action to making sure that our spending is being looked at, and we are making the necessary reductions to move forward. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Romano. Next up is board comments. Ms. Sanborn?
Congratulations, everyone that was recognized this evening. It's a huge milestone, and I wish you well on your future endeavors. And the second thing I want to say is I will be missed at the July 9th meeting. I'm having a medical procedure and will not be here for the board meeting, but I hope to resume and be back at the August board meeting. Depends on when I'm allowed to drive my car. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope all goes well.
Thanks.
Mr. Rudy?
Nothing.
Okay. Mr. Chumley?
Piggyback on the congratulations and thanks for the recognees. We got two multiple award winners over here, and I appreciate the dedication and hard work you guys put in each and every day. Our students and staff flourish from it. Love seeing Merwin highlighted multiple times tonight. Love seeing Merwin students at the podium. Hopefully you'll see 4 more in the future. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good summer. Graduation was great. Our retreat was great. I think there was a lot of good information shared. Terry Morgan came from Ohio School Boards and gave a great presentation. I think we learned a ton from and will implement going forward. So I want to thank everyone involved, and yeah.
Okay, thank you. First, before I forget, our next board meeting will be July 9th. It's kind of out of sequence. I believe it's on a Thursday, so it is July 9th, 2026, and it will be at 7 p.m. here at the Civic Center. To kind of piggyback with him as far as our board retreat, something that I have prepared here is just make it semi-brief. The West Clermont Board of Education conducted a professional day on June 13th, 2026, spanning from 8 a.m. to roughly 1 p.m. While every board member attended this session, one individual was unfortunately about 10 minutes late after the start, and another had to depart about 15 minutes before the conclusion. During the professional development session, the board reviewed the board handbook and received updates on facilities and transportation. The group also focused on the district's aspiration and strategic goals. Additionally, is it Morgan or Maureen? Morgan. Ms. Terry Morgan from OSBA attended as a guest speaker to lead a discussion regarding board responsibilities. During the session, Ms. Morgan addressed the roles and governance of the Ohio Revised Code, specifically detailing how these frameworks define the roles and responsibility of a board member. She also provided an overview of the nature of a board meetings, offering guidance and how to plan and conduct them effectively. Furthermore, she shared best practices for fostering trust within the board, as well as within the district administrators and the community. I, for one, appreciate each member of this board, along with the district administrators who took time away from their busy schedule on a Saturday morning to attend a professional day, which was very effective and beneficial. I believe that each member was able to walk away with a deep understanding of their roles and responsibility of being a board member. And so again, for that, I appreciate everyone who took their time. Thank you. Again, I've already said our next board meeting is July 9th, 2026 at 7 p.m. at the Civic Center here. We do have a need to go into executive session. I'll make the motion to go into executive session for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, and to review negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees considering their compensation or other terms, conditions of their employment. I made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Rudy, thank you. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Ms. Sanborn?
Yes.
Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
4 yes.
For clarification purposes, we will have no reason to come back. There will be nothing that we will be voting on. There'll be no reason to come out. Thank you, guys.